Hey guys, I'm doing well today to my Super Rugby Dream team for round 6 in New Zealand and round 3 in Australia. So, when deciding these sides, I based it off two things: one, their statistics, and two, their influence throughout the game. So, starting at number 1, I selected James Slipper from the Brumbies. I thought he put up an impressive performance. He had 2 runs, 10 run meters, he made 2 out of 2 tackles, and he had 1 defender beaten. So yeah, he did his job really for the Brumbies. I mean, they won at the end by 1 point, which is, impressive for them. Away win is always good. And yeah, he was useful for those scrums as well as lineouts. So moving on to number 2, I've selected EKLUND from the Blues. Personally, I thought he did really well as a Blues fan. He scored 1 try, he had 2 runs, 10 run meters, he had 1 defender beaten, and he made 9 out of 11 tackles. And he also, if I'm correct, I think he had 100% completion rate of, line-out throws. So yeah, fair play to him. I was very impressed because he was, he's not normally the starting hooker because they have James Parsons, but he's currently injured. So yeah, Kurt did very well to, just to be in the starting lineup, and hopefully we'll get to see more of him within the weeks to come. So, moving on to number 3, I selected TUPOU from the Reds. I mean, what can you expect? He is the tongue and four, like everyone likes to say. He had 1 try, he had 7 runs, he had 11 run meters, he had 9 out of 13 tackles, he had 1 turnover, and he had 1 offload. So yeah, it's a typical performance really from him. That try was just very good. I mean, he came over to the left and he just put it right down near the post. It was a good try, but that tackle as well on one of those Western Forces players was, it was a good tackle. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's a good player, and he's definitely showing why he's one of the Wallabies, future props for the future. But yeah, anyway, moving on to number 4, I've selected Jeremy Rush from the Western Force. He had 6 runs, 8 run meters, 12 out of 17 tackles, 1 turnover, 2 defenders beaten, and he won 4 lineouts and had 1 lineout steal. So yeah, he was definitely all over the place. It was hard to pick locks for this week's Dream Team because not a lot of the locks had good stats, as well as not a lot of them influenced the game other than the next lock I'll talk about. But yeah, he definitely put up his hand for this Dream Team. He was there. He helped the Western Force crawl their way back within the later stages of the first half against the Reds. So yeah, fair play to him really. So, moving on to number 5, I selected Lachlan Saikai-Loto from the Reds, the other lock, and yeah, his stats were, I would say, a bit more impressive. He had 13 runs, 30 run meters, he made 14 out of 16 tackles, he had 1 turnover, 1 line break, and he had 2 offloads, and he won 1 line out, and he had 1 line out steal. So yeah, he was definitely all over the place, and yeah, fair play to him. He was in last week's Dream Team as well, so he's beginning to be more consistent, and it's something that if I was a Wallabies fan, I'd like to see, because he's definitely one of those Wallabies starters for sure, and yeah, for the future he can, I'd say, somewhat help them win a lot more games. So yeah, moving on to number 6, I selected Lachlan Boshier from the Chiefs. Yeah, first of all, very unlucky. I feel bad for any Chiefs fan just watching that game. Yeah, it was a heartbreak, you can say, from those last few minutes, and then the Highlanders scoring a last-minute try. But yeah, Boshier was one of those players who really held his own. He was one of those players that really stood out for the Chiefs. He had 1 try, 5 runs, 54 run meters, 10 out of 10 tackles. He had 3 turnovers, 2 line breaks, and he won 9 lineouts. So yeah, he was definitely all over the place, and definitely deserves to be within this side. Especially those 3 turnovers, they were crucial to the Chiefs holding on for as long as they could. I mean, I think all of them were inside the 22, and the last turnover he got, the third one, was the one where he won the turnover, Kevin Trask kicked it out, then they conceded it's just, yeah, I'm not going to go into it because any Chiefs fan will hate, yeah, I'm not going to go into it. But anyway, good performance from him overall though. So, moving on to number 7, I've selected Dupasi Karifi from the Hurricanes. Again, very impressive performance. He had 10 runs, 42 run meters, 8 out of 9 tackles, 2 defenders beaten, 1 line break, and he had 1 offload. So yeah, he was definitely all over the place. For sure, one of the standout players within that game against the Blues. And yeah, he was he had a lot of run meters. That particularly that one clean break where he just ran through everyone, and yeah, yeah, he did well. He did well, and he's definitely one for the future as well as a prospect that the All Blacks might look into. So yeah, moving on to number 8, I've selected Akira Laone, the last of the forward pack, and man, he had a good game. He's just proving once again why he's still in contention, and kind of deserves to be within the All Blacks. To get an All Blacks place, but yeah, he had 1 try, he had 9 runs, 13 run meters, 13 out of 13 tackles, 1 turnover, and he had 1 defender beat him. So yeah, overall impressive performance, really. Especially with 13 out of 13 tackles, it just shows that his work rate is getting extremely better, and that's something that he was heavily criticized in the past, and yeah, it's just good to see that from a Blues fan point of view, as well as an All Blacks. So yeah, fair play to him. So moving on to the backs, I've selected at 9 Aaron Smith, one of the, you could say, contenders for MVP this week. He had 1 try, 1 try assist, 8 runs, 56 run meters, 2 out of 3 tackles, 40 passes, 3 defenders beaten, 1 line break, and 1 offload. So, first of all over the place, was, you could say, the standout player within that game against the Chiefs, and definitely influenced that game heavily. And yeah, you can just tell by his 1 try assist and the 1 try he got. Yeah, he was crucial to the Hurricanes, the Highlanders doing well within that match. Yeah, fair play to him, because he definitely stood out within that match, and I think they have a bye week next week, so they'll be able to rest, which is good for them. But yeah, impressive performance, and yeah, fair play to him. So moving on to number 10, I selected Will Harrison from the Waratahs. He had 1 try assist, 6 runs, 14 run meters, 8 out of 10 tackles, 2 defenders beaten, kicked two conversions, and had 3 penalties. So yeah, to be honest, this was kind of a toss-up between Mitch Hunt and Will Harrison, but I decided to go with Will Harrison purely on the basis of I thought the Waratahs were impressive against the Brumbies, as well as that try assist he got. He kicked the ball like a banana kick essentially, and yeah, one of the wingers within the Waratahs just grabbed that ball and put it in the try line. So yeah, I was pretty impressed by him throughout the match, and he's one of those players for Australia who I can see being the future number 10 for the Wallabies. But yeah, fair play to him. He was good over the match. So, moving on to number 11, I've selected Jonah Nareki from the Highlanders. Another Highlander who was very impressive during the match. He came off the bench to make an impact, and with that, he had 1 try, 4 runs, 63 run meters, 4 defenders beaten, and 1 line break. So yeah, he's probably one of those players which I based it off their influence in the game, because he did come off the bench and score a try, which eventually led them to spark a comeback within the later stages of the match. And yeah, fair play to him. He's one of those players which he doesn't get talked a lot about within the winger conversation with the All Blacks, but you never know. He could be one of those players that he could get like one of those, what is it, New Zealand Maori call-ups or something like that. But fair play to him. I really liked watching him, and man, he was quick. He was quick within that try. He just broke out and had that good line break. So yeah, fair play to him. So, moving on to number 12, my MVP of the week, and it's not really a shock, really, because it's the Hurricanes man himself, Laumape. He was very impressive. He had 1 try, 15 runs, 133 run meters, 4 out of 4 tackles, 2 turnovers, 3 defenders beaten. He had 3 line breaks, and he had 3 offloads. So, first of all, insane stats already. For him, that's kind of like what I expect from him, and that's where it just shows how dominant he can be for the Hurricanes and why he's always in contention of that All Black spot, but somehow misses out, which I find bizarre, really, because I love watching Laumape. He's brilliant in my eyes. But yeah, no, fair play to him. He was all over the place. Within those starting few minutes, he scored a try early on and just outspeeded Bowden Barrett, which is pretty impressive, and then he just knocked and pushed over Ontario Black, which is kind of funny to see even though I'm a Blues fan, I was just like, fair play. But yeah, no, even later on, I think like 10 minutes after, he had another chance where he just went through, but he was unfortunate just to miss out on the try line. But yeah, overall he was very impressive. He also had he also made a tackle within the second half, which was crucial to them getting the ball back and influence in there, but just making his stats even better really. So yeah, fair play to him. He's definitely my MVP, and deservedly so. So moving on to number 13, I've selected Untitled Leonard-BROWN from the Chiefs, another player who was impressive for the Chiefs over the weekend, and he had 1 try, 11 runs, he had 34 run meters, he had 6 out of 7 tackles, 3 turnovers, 4 defenders beaten, 1 line break, and 2 offloads. So yeah, it's typical really from him. It's something that I always see, which is Untitled Brown is just one of those players which if he's not in your side, that team just isn't going to do well. And we saw it from last week's performance. Who were the Chiefs playing? I think they were playing the Hurricanes. I think it was the Hurricanes who they were playing last week. And I don't think Untitled Brown was within that match, but but because he was in this match, I mean, he definitely helped the Chiefs, do well within the early stages of this match, and with him getting that try, and just proving once again why he's starting All Black, and just why, he's insane. Yeah, fair play to Untitled Leonard-BROWN. Very impressive performance. So moving on to number 14, Brian Ralston from the Western Forest, one of the other contender for the MVP as well. He had 2 tries, 8 runs, 141 run meters. He had 6 out of 7 tackles, 3 turnovers, 4 defenders beaten, 1 line break, and he had 1 offload. So yeah, fair play to him. To be honest, I actually never heard of him before this game. So man, he was impressive. I know he did score a try within the last match against the Warriors, I think it was. And man, he was very impressive, very quick. I mean, he did intercept that James O'Connor ball within the first half of the game, and just was quick and scored that try. Other than that, I mean, he was just, he's critical within his try scoring, you can tell, and he's definitely someone that the Wallabies should look into, because, man, he's impressive, and he's very young, I think. I think he's only like 20 or 21 years old, so, he definitely has a future, for sure. But other than that, moving on to the last player of this dream team. This might be a bit controversial, because I could have selected between... The 3 I was selecting between was McKenzie, Geordie, or Bowden. But I've actually gone with Beauden Barrett purely on the basis that I just thought he had the better performance out of the other 2. Personally, as a Blues fan, I'd say he had his best performance. He had 1 try, 6 runs, 55 run meters. He had 5 out of 7 tackles, 1 defender beaten, 1 line break, 1 offload, and he kicked 1 conversion. So he was definitely all over the place within the first half. I mean, he did get that try, which was pretty nice. I mean, he did a step on, I think, TJ Perenara, and he had a clear line break and just ran through with his speed, which is common to see, really, and kind of what you expect from him. But other than that, he was pretty impressive. He was good with his territory, with his kicking as well within the match. And it's just good to see him go against Geordie again. You always love to see that. And it brings a lot of fans down as well, so it's good for the competition. But other than that, I just thought he was pretty impressive and just gets in ahead of McKenzie and Geordie Barrett. So, that's it. That's it with my dream team today. Hope you guys like it. If you want to comment below, that'd be great. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.